Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
The human rights community in the Niger Delta has asked Shell Petroleum Development Company, SPDC, to immediately enforce the judgment of the Hague Court of Appeal, directing it to pay compensation to 3 indigenous farmers in the region whose farmlands were devastated by crude oil spillage from Shell's facility between 2004 and 2007. In their reaction, some environmental rights activists based in the Niger Delta described the recent judgment as just and fair, warning that Shell should not employ delay tactics to alter the course of justice in the matter. Correspondent Kanami Ofuri has the report.
It was a long road to justice for 3 farmers in the Niger Delta whose farmlands were devastated by leaks from underground oil pipelines belonging to Shell between 2004 and 2007. In 2008, the aggrieved farmers instituted a suit against Shell in the Netherlands. In 2013, the Hague District Court ordered Shell to compensate one of the 4 farmers who originally filed a suit for compensation, but did not hold the Anglo-Dutch oil giant liable for the spills that destroyed farmlands belonging to 3 other claimants. Dissatisfied with the judgment, the 3 farmers approached the Hague Court of Appeal in 2015. In its recent judgment, the appellate court at The Hague held that Shell could not prove beyond reasonable doubt that the spillage occurred as a result of sabotage. Consequently, the court ordered the Nigerian subsidiary of Shell to compensate the farmers for their losses.
Shell is responsible for the pollution, and it's because they are responsible for the pollution that is why they are unable to prove their case about sabotage. Because if you make a claim, the onus of claim lies on he who alleges. They have alleged, and they could not make their case. So the point here is that they are responsible for the pollution on the ground, and I think that the community people have the right to their environment, and they should go ahead and pay the compensation.
To the delight of environmental rights activists in the Niger Delta, the court also directed Shell Nigeria and its parent company Royal Dutch Shell to install detective equipment to prevent future oil spillages across the Niger Delta.
Their pipes were laid well over 50 years ago, and those pipes are under the ground. They have not been changed. No new technology has been added, and they are bursting and deflating like balloons, causing pollution everywhere in the Niger Delta and denying the people the rights to their environments, destroying their sources of livelihoods, and making lives difficult for them. So that judgment from The Hague will serve as deterrent to Shell to know what they are doing and practice the acts of oil mining in the Niger Delta according to best international practices.
I think there should actually be maybe even surveillance technology that anyone wants to touch a pipeline, there will be a recording that look, something was tampered with. There are no such improvement, there are no such innovations going on. So you see a situation where Shell will just blatantly come out and say, look, they don't just think about it, this is sabotage, this is sabotage.
The insight of the Dutch court is described as a wake-up call on the Nigerian authorities to effectively regulate operations in the petroleum industry. International oil companies like Shell are said to be taking undue advantage of a lax system to maximize profit without regard for communities' right to a safe environment.
The tragedy is that Shell works with the Nigerian government. The oil industry activity or operations within Nigeria are operated on a joint venture partnership between the Nigerian government and the international investors, meaning that both of them share both the liability and both the profit that comes with the business. And you see that Shell has adamantly, and probably in collusion with Nigerian government, refused to reform the industry practice.
While the recent judgment is being greeted with jubilations across the Niger Delta, Shell has vowed to appeal it. And if it loses at the Supreme Court of The Hague, this will just be one of a handful of cases it would have lost to claims of environmental degradation in recent years.
Inside the Niger Delta,